What's up? If you're seeing this video, you are probably in one of my shares pool. Since you're already in, you don't really need to watch this video. I wanted to explain some of the extra stuff that I'm doing, mainly with the projected points and a couple other things along those lines. So you don't have to watch, but if you find stats interesting and you want further explanation of what good shares and bad shares are, continue watching. I'm going to use 538.com for my breakdowns. I'm using their probabilities. If you've never been to 538.com, I love that website. This especially goes for the stat faculty. So I will use very interactive on their brackets and stuff like that. Let's see here, Michigan State. So check this out if you want. If you don't care, you don't have to. So I will be using these probabilities, clicking over to the table, to help me calculate my projected points. It gives us the probability that each team makes it a certain distance in the tournament. I can then apply that to our scoring system to come up with a total projected points. Now, obviously, Villanova will not score exactly 569 points. That's not possible in the scoring system. But according to the simulations, on average, they should expect to score 569 points. And we have got all the way down to the 16 seeds, which on average, because the 16 seed has never beaten a 1 seed, even the 4 teams combined, there's a chance it happens, but not very likely. So they are only projected 8.5 points. So what I then did is I took the total projected points and then I applied it to your specific pool. I'm using my pool because it has a couple other things that I wanted to show. Roger, anything that shows up in red. So Roger has a majority on Northwestern. He has more than half of all the shares on Northwestern. Mike DeYoung has a majority on VCU. And then if it shows up, Eric VH has the majority on Nevada. And then if it shows up in blue, Jared is the only person to put any shares on the 16 seeds. So if they do pull the major upset, that'll be huge for Jared because he will get all of those points. Down below, I figured out what percentage of all of the team's shares that you own. So I own 8.2% of Gonzaga's shares. I own almost 10% of Florida State shares, almost 12% of Louisville's shares. That's what this calculates. Over to the right, I copied and pasted over from the Excel spreadsheet the total projected points. I use the total number of shares on each team to calculate something called points per share. And technically, there's our projected points per share. So there should be PPPS. And it kind of tells you where the good money is. So there wasn't a whole lot of shares on Florida in here. So each one of those shares is projected 18.5 points. That's got to be by far the most. I don't think I have any shares on Florida. Let's check. Nope, I have no shares on Florida. Who's got? Oh, Jared has a lot of shares on Florida, almost half. Then, using the sum product function, which basically says take your percentage of the shares you own, multiply it by the total projected points, add up all those, and this is how many total projected points that you have. And then those will show up over here. Then it'll tell you where 538 expects you to finish. Again, probably doesn't mean a whole lot. A lot will change. We're going to lose half the teams in the next couple days anyway. No one else has access to do this. But as soon as the first game is done, let's say that Notre Dame emerges victorious in the first game. We wait for this to update. We go over to standings. And this is not updating. Son of a gun. Well, after I mess with this again, this will update. It'll show you how many points you have, how many points you had at the beginning of the day, your current rank, and your previous rank, and then any change. I will also let you know how many shares you have remaining. Everyone has all 100 shares so far because there are no games that have completed. And if it sounds like I'm kind of deflated right now, it's because I am. I don't know what's messed up with this. So I will fix that. It'll be fixed by the time that you watch this video, more than likely. If you have questions, let me know. Toodles.